Eat my sando.
Yeah, eat your sando. Beautiful. Oh, it's so good. Yoku is just like.
I'm kind of hungry. I mean, I have cheese crackers, but
You have cheese crackers.
I can't compete with this.
I already ate my burger, so now I'm just sitting here like this.
I ate my lunch already as well, so it's okay.
We're in this together, Jazza. Oh, that was so good.
I'm waiting for us to go live.
I think it went live because people are coming. Please let that be the first thing.
I mean, we can only hope, right?
I really hope so. It's not popping up that it's. Oh wait, it did say it's live. Oh
It's
yeah.
live.
Hello everybody, and welcome to ManhwaPod. We are a weekly podcast in which we all get together after we read all or part of a manga or a manhwa, and then we discuss it with friendship, love, and lots of spoilers. I am your host, Erin of HappiLeeErin, and with me are my three lovely co-hosts, and we're all finally back together. We're all here.
It's been like a month, hasn't it?
It's been a month since all of us have been here. Before it was like, I don't remember what happened, but last week it was just Dazza and I. We chilled. We talked We talked about another Frankenstein.
Hey.
True. That's very
Hey.
true. Aww.
But yes, we're now finally all back together, and it's glorious, and I'm so happy. It's beautiful.
And next week,
So,
we're gonna
we'll
be
all
together in real life.
3 out of 4 of us will be streaming from my house during MangaPod. Yeah, because Anime Expo, we're all gonna be in the same city.
Yeah. That's like a week from now, pretty much exactly.
Yeah, because
It's awesome.
Daz is getting in this weekend, and Yoku is getting in like next Monday, Tuesday. So
Monday,
it's exactly a week. Yeah.
Sick. That's awesome.
Dope. It's gonna be hella dope.
It's
So-
actually it's happening.
Will you guys introduce yourselves super duper fast?
Hi, I'm Dodger. I'm eating a
Yep.
sandwich. I rushed home, and so everything is very haphazard right now. But I'm here, and I'm ready to talk about Noblesse.
But it worked out because half of us was still reading the manhwa.
Yeah, which I do not. These chapters are like 7 pages long, guys. Whatever. We can talk about it
It's
later.
fine. It's fine.
I'll keep it under
Hey,
wraps.
Mr. Catman, introduce
I
yourself.
wanna introduce a new member to the family. Say hi. Meow. Check this out. Hi.
It looks kind of like Watson. Wait,
Her name is Kiara.
She's so
they
cute.
look kind of alike. Huh.
Yeah, Watson is more white. She's a little bit more
Mwah.
ginger.
Yeah.
She's trying to get crackers right now, but I covered him with boxes.
Yeah, the reason Watson's next to me is because she really wants my food. I just
Yeah,
fed her.
I've got my cat just sitting on me, as always.
Well,
and I'm Yokorama, by the way.
Yeah, you are.
Just saying.
Oh. Hi, I'm Dazza. I'm currently putting stuff into working so I can do things while over in LA.
Are we
Sorry.
all just like, every single one of us is just multitasking right now?
Oh yeah, totally.
We start 30 minutes late, but we're all still doing other stuff.
Hey, it's a week. It's
We're
a
here.
week before we
We're
get
here.
together, so.
I know, there's a lot going on. I'm just happy that we're all finally able to get here. That's the important thing. We're all
Oh
able
god,
to
yes.
be here. Excuse me. So yes, thank you all for being here. I'm happy we're all together. This week for Manhwa/ManhwaPod, we read Noblesse. We read chapters 1 through 78, which seems like a lot, but since it's a manhwa, it actually goes by incredibly fast,
So
like
fast.
way faster than 78 chapters of a manga would. If you've never joined us for a MangaPod before, what we do, not what we like to do, but what we do is give you a super short, spoiler-free description, aka summary, so that you can kind of get a taste for what the manga or manhwa that we read is, and then we will give you a spoiler-free recommendation from each and every single one of us, whether we think you should spend time going and reading the manga or manhwa or not. So, Dr. Dazza, when you get
that's amazing.
Actually, hang on, let me spoiler alert. I haven't spoiler alerted yet.
I don't have
After
my
this-
glasses here.
After this, okay, I'll give you time. I'll stall for you. After after we give you our super short spoiler-free description and spoiler-free recommendation, then you can choose to take your leave, or you can stay if you don't care about getting spoilers, but we will be super duper in-depth with spoilers. We won't apologize. We won't be rotten bacon butts, all sorts of things. But if you do want to go and read the manhwa before coming back and hearing our discussion on it, then you can come back and find the VOD of this right here on youtube.com/HappiLeeErin.
Woo!
There it is. Yeah.
Woo! Yeah.
Okay, Daza.
He awakens. For 820 years, he has slumbered with no knowledge of mankind's advancements and scientific achievements. The land he once knew has become an unfamiliar place with new technologies, attitudes, and lifestyles. Cadus Entrama Die Razel, also known as Ray, while seeking to familiarize himself with this era, somehow locates, it's very strange how he does that, a loyal servant of his, Frankenstein, who is currently the principal of a South Korean high school, of course. Ray decides that this high school will be the perfect place to help him learn about the new world. He enrolls and suddenly becomes the friend of Shinwoo, an immature teenager who is a master of martial arts. With this new world, I haven't finished yet. But this new world is no longer safer than the old, and the then dignified, bewildered, technologically illiterate Ray finds himself caught up in adventures both hilarious and dangerous.
I was gonna guess deadly. I was trying to guess what the word was gonna be, and I thought maybe deadly, but I'm just glad it started with a D. I felt like I was on the same wavelength.
We're always thinking about the D. I can't help it.
Both of you are always on the D.
We're always on the D.
Always on the D. Just silently over in the corner there.
Jokes.
All right, let's give our spoiler-free recommendation. Does anybody want to go first? Because I can go first if not.
I can go first.
Okay.
Okay, so I got super sick on my vacation, right? And I was like, I'm gonna start reading the manga because I don't really know anything about it, and whatever, it'll give me a good head start. And I, in one sitting, read 100 chapters of it because I loved it so much. Like, the art is fantastic, which was the first thing that really dragged me in. But then the way it's written and the humorous moments that are in it and the serious moments that are in it are so on point. And even though the story sounds very like any young adult novel you could find in a Barnes and Noble, it's done really well. It's done in a way where you're like, this is an interesting story. So I would absolutely recommend it.
I would agree with that 100%. I was expecting, for some reason, I completely missed the comedy tag on it when I first was reading about it. And so I was not was expecting a much less comedy, a much more serious story, but I am incredibly happy with the balance that they had with, like you were saying, with how they were very on point with both the serious and all of the comedy was just gold. Like, everything was so good and so witty. And the art is absolutely breathtaking. The action scenes are fantastic. And what's really nice about it is that it's really, Yoku and I were talking about this before we went live. Like, when you're reading it on a phone or when you're scrolling down, like, it kind of adds to the tension because you're doing this scroll down during a conversation. And so just the formatting of it, the manhwa formatting builds the atmosphere. And so that's also really enjoyable. And we'll get more into it, but I 100% recommend going and reading this manhwa. And I think it's like a really funny starter manhwa too. If you've never read a manhwa before, it's a nice introduction to it too. It's not too heavy. Like, Tower of God is fantastic and is an absolutely amazing manhwa, but there's so much that's happening inside of that world that it can get easily confusing and hard to follow sometimes. Whereas with Noblesse, there is stuff going on and there's interconnecting plot lines, but it's very straightforward and very simple, but still engaging and interesting. So I think it's a very good starter manhwa, and you'll be blown away by the art and be like, this is a web comic? What? It's gonna be great.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I knew it was a manhwa going into it, so I was kind of expecting like that kind of format, since most of the manhwas that I read have that kind of format. You know, the whole like one
Really
page
long
is
pages,
like
yeah.
I really like that. That's one of the things.
Me
I
too,
really
it's
like
grown
about
on
Tower
me.
of God.
Yeah.
and I've read a couple others after that, after Tower of God, that we should probably read at one point as well. And you know, they all tend to be good. So I was expecting something, at least like good, like entertaining.
Mhm.
And I mean, I pretty much read it all in one sitting as well. I read chapter 1 through 78 in one go, and if I had like
right
I mean,
here.
the biggest, yeah, you were here. I was here. Like,
I was here for
like
30
chapters.
chapters of that.
Nah, but it's really good, and yeah, I didn't know it was gonna be funny. I actually had no idea it was gonna be funny. Like, it started off super serious, but then like straight up jumped into comedy, and I was kind of like, I caught off guard a little bit, so that was kind of cool. So it's my kind of comedy as well.
Yeah.
And it's completely like it's out of nowhere and just like kind of dry. So I like it. It's like it's kind of sarcastic in a way.
Yeah.
So it's really good, and like I know both of you already mentioned the art is really good. I mean, if you were here for the sound check, I think I showed at least like 50 panels from like the last like 10
Yeah,
chapters.
that's what took you so long to read, because every other panel you were like, guys, look at this one, even though we already read it.
I was only here for like a minute before we went live, and Yoku was just like, guys. No, but guys.
Dude, they're so good. Like, plus his art style reminds me of Bleach, of Tite Kubo's art style, and the way he draws his characters and stuff, and like them like flipping out and shit. So seeing that and seeing like his kind of style, obviously this guy is a fan of or read Bleach at some point because he took some from it. So it's kind of cool seeing that in another series with like different characters and stuff. It's like reading Zombie Powder. You know, anybody know Zombie Powder?
Nope.
No? Right.
I was caught off guard by you not calling him Titty Kubo, because I always call him Titty Kubo.
Oh.
So I was just reflecting in my mind.
I've been saying that name for many years, and I've gone past that point.
You're like, that joke's over for me, okay? It's not funny anymore.
That was like funny in like 2009.
Right. It's still funny.
It's still 2009, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it's 2009.
Yeah.
Probably.
Durza?
Oh yeah. I liked it. It was good. It's colorful. It looks pretty.
We all recommend it.
Short and concise, to the point, right there.
It should have just done it. It should have just been him saying that for all of us.
Yeah.
We would have been done like 10 minutes ago.
It gave me more time to finish off what I was doing. It's okay.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Perfect. All right.
Yes, so that's it. Spoiler is MangaPod is going to get ManhwaPod. Spoiler for ManhwaPod is Manhwa.
Manhwa. Manhwa.
It's like what, the Queen reading.
Manhwa.
You need to put your hand up. Oh, Joe Summer.
Spoiler free is gonna get countdown. 5,
4,
4,
3, 2,
2,
1.
Lee is God.
boom.
Lee is pretty much damn god. That
Yeah.
guy is.
That guy's beast.
Super beast. Oh my god. Can we talk about him? Can we talk about Frankenstein?
His name is Frankenstein as well. What the? That's cool.
His name is Frankenstein. Okay, so talking about the art, I feel like art's gonna be brought up a lot in this.
Oh yeah.
He was drawn so gorgeous.
Right.
Like, he was so pretty.
They're-
And usually I'm like animated characters, I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, stuff, but I'm like,
Aaron, you're gonna have to repeat all of that again.
oh really?
None of that came out. It's like, normally with anime characters, I'm like, One more time. Try again.
I was saying normally with anime characters, it's more of a like, oh, I appreciate how you're drawn. Whereas with Frankenstein and like all of the characters in this series, I'm like, God, you could be like You're gorgeous. You're works of art, every single one of you. Every single one.
Works of art.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. This is a super bishi manhwa. If you,
Super bishi.
I don't know what you call them in a Korean manga, but since I know the word bishi, I'm gonna use bishi.
But usually I don't really give a shit about that, but I liked it though. This is like good.
Yeah, you did.
Because it's good freaking art. It was so good.
Yeah,
like,
man. And you're right. It's super Bleach.
Yeah,
like
it is super Bleach. Like
Ray,
the shading, the way he does his shading and shit. That's like Bleach style.
Yeah, and like you were saying earlier, I felt the same way. Ray reminds me so much of Ulquiorra from Bleach. There were a lot of characters where I was like, even Shinwoo is a little bit
Ichigo. That guy.
Yeah, Shinwoo's a little Ichigo-y. Yeah,
Ichigo's like the only one I know, so I was like, I can see Ichigo in this guy.
Mm-hmm.
They totally
Grimjo?
are bleached. Yeah.
Was there a Grimjo in the series?
God, I wish.
No.
F you, Titty Kubo. You my Grimjaw. Feel so many feelings. Anyway,
bitter.
let's move on.
She's still bitter. Okay, let's start with the question. Let's go into the question we usually start with. What were your guys' expectations before you started reading the manhwa? Like I was saying, for me personally, I was expecting a much more serious, at least especially from the start. And so I was really confused for a few chapters because I was really confused by the atmosphere and what the atmosphere was supposed to be. So I was like, is he gonna kill everybody? Like when Ray was like changing into the uniform, I was like, he's gonna infiltrate the school and he's gonna kill everybody. He's gonna suck all their blood. He's thirsty because he's a vampire and he's been sleeping for a really long time. And then I was like, wait, is he a vampire? Now I don't even know. And then he started being like really funny and he like didn't know how to do anything and it was like the best thing.
Yeah, it's so funny. Dude, yeah, because like, motorcycle, hold on.
Hey. Hey.
Yeah, because like I was saying in my spoiler-free recommendation, I felt so much when I read the summary like it was going to be a overly serious young adult novel-esque story where it's just like hot vampire who has been asleep for a long time wakes up in a world where he doesn't understand much, and I'm just like, all right, okay. But it wound up, I don't even know why. I'm not even sure what they did to make it so like good, but the story wound up being so much better than I expected, and like didn't take itself seriously at times when it was important, you know, because he really wouldn't know this stuff, you know. Like it's
I think I want to add to that, like I was thinking that same thing. I was like, I was expecting this just to be completely like young adult, like typical story. Like, how did they make it? Than that, like the way that they focused much more on there was much more focus put on to the bad guys and building them up and showing their background than I was expecting to happen. Because when I first started reading it, it felt very much like Shin Woo was the main character and that the story was going to be heavily focused on him. But then it became focused not on these high school students, it became focused on all of the adults in the situation. And so
it was actually more focused at one point. Like seriously, I think more of it altogether that we read is actually more focused on them than on actually Shinwoo. Shinwoo kind of fell behind around like the middle point that we were reading at.
Yeah, exactly. And like
until the end, of course.
Yeah, like bringing in like all of the stuff about the experiments and all of the like the doctor, everything like that just gave it a much more mature feel because it was all adults in the situation and it was all adults like going through this. So I just felt like that was different than I was expecting it. I was expecting it to be a high school story.
Yeah,
and,
me
like,
too.
They were like,
and the way that I thought that was gonna happen was the very first time that he fought that little fledgling vampire. And they were like, oh, we should turn this kid. Like, I wonder what he would be like if we turned him. And I was like, do it! Do it!
You thought he was going to get turned?
I thought he was going to get turned. Yeah, and it would be like this weird story of like him connecting with Ray because Ray would be like, oh, shit, you're a vampire now.
It's like Ichigo becoming Shinigami.
Yes. It's just like that. But no! They went another way with it.
You caught us off guard with that one.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
No,
thank you.
I agree. I like that it's become more about the ensemble than any like specific person. Even Ray. Like Ray is obviously very important and very powerful, but he in no way has been the sole focus of the story at all, which I think is interesting.
If anything, I think he's one of the ones that's gotten like least amount of focus.
Yeah.
I think like you're expecting
wish
like
he'd come
him
on.
and Shinwoo, like I mean towards what we
Best friends forever.
But like towards what we read, like obviously like he started to come out more, especially with how he was it him? No, it was Frankenstein who said when Frankenstein said the line about when he's fighting Mary and he said the line about everything that you are came from me
Yeah.
or whatever, I was like, oh damn.
I can't wait.
Oh damn.
Your name
What
is
this
finally
work
starting
out?
to make sense.
But yeah, like Ray really didn't become like he was obviously like the focus of the first few chapters as we like come to realize that he really doesn't understand what the fuck is going on
Yeah.
in this world. And then he like kind of came in the last like 2 chapters when we like that whole battle with Jake, but otherwise like he wasn't like as big of a focus as I was expecting him to
Yeah,
be.
he's acted as more of like the catalyst for the story to exist
Yes.
than as like the reason the story exists, I guess.
Well, I mean, there's like 300 some chapters right out, and it's still
Yeah.
kind of a mystery. It's still in the mystery stages. I mean, there's gonna be so much more like stuff.
Yeah, people have been like,
There's a lot about we
I
don't
don't
know about.
yeah. I got so many messages
Yeah.
being like, I can't wait until you get into like the late 100 chapters. And I was like, me neither. I want to get there.
Is this going to be like Tower of God, where everyone keeps asking us every week
Well,
to read more?
I wouldn't
All
be
the
surprised.
manhwas, man.
Essentially, we're only gonna become ManhwaPod. Forget
ManhwaPod,
manga.
always.
Always.
It'll be bi-weekly. It's going to be Noblesse and Tower of God in other week.
Yep.
Every time a new chapter comes out.
And
we'll just
Gamer,
speak about
isn't
it.
Gamer or Breaker? The Breaker?
Yeah,
There's
Break-
another
the
manga,
Breaker.
Breaker.
Mm-hmm.
We can add that once we catch up with the other 2.
Yeah, that's true.
Perfect.
There's another one. There's one about a zombie kid that's actually like really funny and really good, but I can't remember the name of it. But it's another manhwa. It's great.
There's
So
girls,
if we could add that to
girls of the
list.
wild, or girls wild, or some shit like that.
Girls Gone Wild?
Girls Gone Wild?
Oh.
Yeah.
Girls Gone.
I want to read this.
No, it's not what you think, that's it. It's
Is it-
not what you
It's Girls Gone Wild, the
but it's a
manhwa.
good one.
But when I first started reading Noblesse, I was kind of like, the first few chapters really set it up to be like this really supernatural story set in like modern times, you know, with like oldish characters. But then it went on, and we kind of moved away from the supernatural elements, and it got very sciencey. And I'm just like, but the supernatural parts, it confuses my brain. It doesn't make sense in my brain because it's like the science and supernatural. They're not supposed to be together, but apparently they are.
Oh, I like it because they talk so much about, oh man, humans have developed this much, you know, and like
Yeah.
the only way that
Be
we
the
as
weakest, now
humans,
they're- might be the weakest.
yeah, like humans have been established in this world as having no magical abilities, right? And so the only way we could get there was with science. So like,
Yeah.
I love.
yeah, so
but,
like
but
having,
science is not discernible from magic.
they are the same, especially in the
same.
world of Thor.
Yes, reference.
But like, I don't know. I just really like that Ray's been asleep for so long, and he pops back up, and you have this feeling every time either him or Frankenstein gets into a fight with somebody, where you're like, is their old magic going to be enough? You know, like I felt that way every time. I was like, what if they've surpassed you? But as of now, they're still just like, oh, I'm sorry, were you trying to hurt me? Which is just like makes me so happy because they're all just like, who are you? Like, where did you come from?
One of
I
my
love
favorite panels was when I think it was like the big guy, the big red guy.
Yeah.
He went to punch Lee. He went to punch and was just like, "Rah," and Lee's just like, what? Sorry, sorry, I've got no idea what's going on here.
They played it off the whole thing like there was like dust and shit, like you can see what's going on.
Yeah.
That guy's like, oh, come on, stop wasting time. Come here. Let's take him out. And then like, you see Ray just cock blocking him.
Yeah. Dude, Ray's kneel thing is so cool every time. I'm just like,
That was awesome. That reminded me of like Zod, I think.
yeah.
Like kneel before Ray.
Yeah.
Like, are we getting into like free territory here?
Dude, yeah, when he like hulked out super hard and was like,
Yes.
try to make me kneel now. And Ray was like, okay.
Neil.
Yeah.
Kneel
That
before
was
Ray.
that was another one of those moments. I remember. I think it was we were talking about the latest, like on the last Tower of God ManhwaPod. We were talking about how reading Tower of God at times felt like you were reading like a moving comic, like almost like it was already animated. Like that
Yeah.
was one of those moments in Noblesse where it felt like I was watching something animated.
so
like
much
just
impact.
The atmosphere,
Yeah.
the impact of it was like goosebumps everywhere.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is because of the format of how you're reading
The
it.
long
You're not
pages.
always going from page to page and you see everything at once. You're just scrolling down at your own pace, and it's just it's like a whole other medium. That's what's called manhwa.
Yeah.
That's
Manhwa doing
that's
it
why
right.
It's another medium.
Yep. What were your expectations before you started reading manhwa?
My expectations before I can't say really before because I kind of like didn't really think about it. I really had like no thoughts before. I just thought it was gonna be like a manhwa, cool.
Well,
Yeah,
how did you feel about it within the first like couple of chapters? Were you like in immediately, or were you
Well,
like?
the first thing is like I read the first, what was it, like 8 chapters in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I think the first like 3 chapters there was like no text at all. So you're kind of just like
Yeah, it's just
scrolling,
Ray
he
being
wakes
like,
up,
new
he goes,
outfit,
like,
waking up,
white. Goes
walking
from
amongst
black to
other
white.
kids. You're like, okay.
Like that
I
was
love-
like the first few chapters, and I liked that. I liked how easy like it let you in. You're like, oh, I'm getting that's progress. 3 chapters in, progress. Like,
Yeah,
like you feel like
that-
progress, and then you're like 8 chapters in. There's been like maybe a couple of text bubbles, and it's between like the teacher and Shinwoo, like yelling at about like running laps and shit. So it's like you're kind of like, oh, 8
And
chapters.
his name.
So eventually you it kind of forces you to just get like into it. Like even if somebody was reading that and they'd be like, oh, this is like boring, I'm not into it, and then they would look at the amount of chapters that they would read, they'd be like, oh, I'm 5 chapters in. Well, I must have been into it if I read like 5 chapters.
Yeah.
So
they go by.
I mean, like
We've
that-
been so conditioned with
that
manga to think that was like a lot that we read.
Yeah.
yeah, that helped. I mean, I kind of jumped in that, and I'm looking like 8 chapters. 78, no problem.
And
I just started reading, and I mean, like, I just kept reading. I think I didn't even check after like chapter 8. I didn't even check what chapter I was on until I was on chapter like 50 something. I was just kind of like I just kept.
That was my problem, is that the reason that I originally read too far was because I wasn't watching at all. And then suddenly I was on chapter like 60 and I was like, well, guess I just might as well keep on reading. I was really glad that we pushed it forward because I think that where we stopped this time was so much better than where we were going to stop.
Yeah.
And by the way, sorry to any of you who were like, I thought we were reading to 40 something. It was a last minute change.
It was.
40 something.
It would have been better discussion.
Yes, Daz?
So there's me. Like I was on chapter 20. You're like, oh, we're gonna do 78. And I'm just like, I just want to look at the pretty pictures.
I know. I was on chapter like decision. And I was like, I just want to look at it. It's so pretty.
Goes by so fast, though.
There's a lot of like desktop background worthy panels.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Gorgeous.
Oh, and guys, where we stopped, like they all saw Ray make that guy kneel. They didn't see him like shred his body up with blood, but
No.
they saw him do crazy shit.
It was so cute when the 3 kids were like, Ray, run! We don't know your mom!
Like holding onto his legs, like Ray,
We're all
save yourself! It's like, oh god, you precious babies.
Oh, you're so cute. You're so adorable. I'm interested to see if anything like more happens with those 3, or if they, after like this kind of little like incident, they just kind of get pushed into like.
I doubt they will. They keep being like, Shinwoo is a special sort of human.
Yeah.
So
I
who
hope-
knows? He
I
might
wanna
still
get-
be turned. I
That's
don't
true.
know.
I want to see them all get experimented on.
Yeah.
I think. What if
Kind of like
Shinwoo has
like
been
a
experimented
soldier
on
type
though?
deal.
Oh, what if she?
Oh, I didn't even think of that. Yoku.
I was thinking of that because how is he freaking
that
like
either.
crazy? So like that doesn't really make too much sense. Like okay, he like studied that and like did that stuff, whatever. But like he's like fighting all these guys that have been like crazy experimented on.
Yeah.
So.
And his dad doesn't. He lives alone because his dad is working overseas.
What if his dad is the scientist?
Yes.
Oh shit!
Oh no!
All these connect. That's probably what it is.
Nobody in chat say anything.
Yeah, no
Nobody in chat
spoilers.
say-
Don't be rotten
no
bacon
spoilers.
butts.
I feel like we're like
No.
spoiling the whole series right now for everybody.
But
That's
not
how good we
if
are.
not because we don't know it.
Yeah.
It's because we don't know it. We're
Speculating.
guessing. These are bets. These are speculations.
That's good. I like that my speculation like brought up another speculation by you guys because I never thought about that. So it's kind of like that's why we're here.
I know.
Oh god, what if it turns out that it's like a super sad story where his dad is like, your mother died of a weird disease and then you got the disease and so I started these experiments so that I could figure out how to save your baby body and eventually I figured out a serum to make you stronger. But you turn out to be too strong.
I'm just.
I hope it's not that. I really hope it's not that.
I'm
You
having
jinxed it.
flashbacks
It's gonna
to.
be that. It's gonna be that now.
What, Dazzle? Sorry.
But that's.
I'm having flashbacks to both very, very normal origin Marvel stories and Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Attack on Titan.
I was thinking Attack on Titan. Dude, the one friend with the glasses reminded me so much of Armin.
Yeah, man.
I just needed some blonde hair.
I know, you would have been Armin.
It would've been
Armin
exactly
in
him.
modern day.
I can't remember that kid's name, but
But
E-
the friend
Econ?
with glasses.
Econ?
But Econ had personality.
Econ, yeah.
lol, zing,
Well,
Armin.
that's what happens
I
if
love
you.
Armin. Armin
That's
has
what would happen
personality.
if you give Armin a PC,
Yeah.
he will obtain personality. That rhymes a little bit.
He downloads it from the internet.
Yeah, you know.
Playing Counter Strike, that's cool.
So, can we talk about how Yuna is like, she's
Has
dumb.
literally no personality.
She's dumb.
Like, legit.
She is just there to go ha-ha and then get kidnapped because she left the house to go get some fucking apple juice like a dumb...
Where is my phone?
It's like, oh, stay inside.
She didn't
You nearly
realize
got
her
murdered.
phone
She-
was gone for
How
like
much
a
time?
week and a
How much
half. I was
time
like,
passed? I was thinking about that. How much time passed? Because she was just like, oh yeah, I just
Oh,
didn't
my-
get a new phone yet. Like,
And I love how everybody's just like, I mean, you did go through a traumatic experience, so it's understandable. Don't worry
no,
about it. You're
you would
free."
realize that your phone was missing. Like, I'm sorry.
And the fact that she was like, I just thought I lost it. Oh, wait, no, now I remember that my kidnappers actually took it. I was like, Yuna,
Wasn't
you're
it-
just
wasn't
there
it
to
also
laugh.
shit
Just
You
laugh.
actually said, oh, I got a call from your kidnappers on your phone. Obviously, they must have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
no, but then Frankenstein's like, oh no, somebody found your phone. It's lying around.
Yeah,
for a
well,
week.
because Frankenstein was covering it up.
Yeah, he tried to cover up, and everybody believed him straight up. So.
Who's the
Yeah.
principal? What do you expect?
Yeah, you gotta believe the principal.
Yeah, they still,
what?
the kids still, the
Principal.
yeah,
Principal.
the kids still haven't seen Frankenstein do anything weird.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. They just think he's just standard principal Lee.
Oh my god, what if they go to him and they're like, yo, something's real weird about Ray. We saw him do some crazy shit. And Frankenstein's like,
Oh no.
I'll be sure to handle this.
Can I say
I'll
my favorite
investigate. It's okay.
my favorite Ray moment? Can we talk about Ray moments here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Here, my favorite Ray moment is the continuous moment throughout a few chapters where he was stuck in the building.
Can't open the door.
And then in the end, when freaking Frankenstein, when he taught him how to open the door and how like it was like half
Like,
a chapter.
epic.
He like
It was like-
opened the door, there was like light, and he's like,
Light, like his
I can,
hair
like
moves a little bit.
anytime I want. Like
You can come and go as you please. It was so
That's-
intense.
that was the best.
It was so funny. I love the part where like they're building up to him. He's staring at the door. He's like, I can't go out this way. I obviously have to go out the window. And then and then he breaks it.
Oh, that's where they played the comedy correctly. Because there was shit going down between Frankenstein and
I think it was Jake and Mary.
Jake. I knew it started with Jake. Yeah, they were fighting. Jake and Frankenstein
It
were
was a
fighting.
contrast, yeah.
And then out of nowhere, they go to Ray, and it looks like he's about to go and help him. Like he feels something, and he's just like standing there. That's the perfect like setup for comedy.
So good, yeah.
Like,
The funny thing is, I'm thinking he's only been away for 820 years. I'm pretty sure they had doors 820
No,
years
they
ago.
had, like, this one
has
had, like,
an
buttons.
electronic lock. It has an electronic lock. He can't figure out how to do it.
I wouldn't know how to work those. We don't have electronic locks over here.
I think one of my favorite Ray like story arcs was the video game situation.
Yeah,
Just
they
like
kept killing
the
me over
crushing
and
defeat.
over again. I've never experienced this. They just kept killing me.
Yeah, and then I love that it all ended with Frankenstein just making him a PowerPoint presentation, basically. Just being like, modern video games for master.
For master. One of my favorite...
author Frankenstein actually.
Yeah, Frankenstein by Frankenstein. One of my favorite, this isn't a Ray moment, but one of my favorite comedy moments is when it's the whole thing with like oh crap, what are they called? On the phone, the people who call and are really annoying.
Telemarketers?
Telemarketers.
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah.
telemarketers stuff.
Oh, that's right.
Like how they
They're like, oh,
especially
I don't know if I should pick up the phone.
with
I don't know if I should pick up the
M21,
phone.
with M21 and M24 when they're like,
They know.
They know.
answer it. And then they answer, hello, valued customer. He's like,
Just hang up.
Hang
Just
up.
hang up.
It's like, is there anything I can help you with? Do you want to die?
that one would change.
I mean, they ended every other chapter almost ended in like some like hilarious.
Some kind of comedy.
Yeah, it was so good.
I think my favorite Ray moment would have been the start where he's just standing there and he can't speak Korean at all. and then it was his name one, but I think it was also that he can do telepathy between like other humans, so he can kind of work out like languages and stuff.
Yeah.
And then like Frankenstein's just like, but I suppose calculus and arithmetic is kind of harder to understand, even if you do understand the language.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
when he's
it's
like,
like,
I
they
think there's
get
something
me.
wrong with my
They get
powers.
I don't get this math.
Yeah.
What is this?
This
That
math
made me think of
baffles
Aaron.
me.
Yeah,
So good.
that was me.
Yeah, and I
That
think
made you think of me.
I think Yoku's right too. I don't think the comedy would work as well if it wasn't so dry, because it allows for you to have those suspenseful moments where you think that you're still in that really serious scope,
Yeah.
and then something happens and you're like, oh my god, really? like you
oh,
almost feel like you're falling for it every time, like you're
Yeah.
falling
And
for the
I
same
did fall
trick.
for it every time.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming, but I kept falling for it.
Especially the part when they were walking away from one battle, or they were walking away
The
from
ramen thing?
The ramen thing, like building up. It's like, it's been bothering me for some time,
Oh
Frankenstein.
yeah.
Which one goes better with? And
That was after meeting with the guys again and like getting their number and shit. Ah.
Yeah, and then Frankenstein makes him ramen and he's just sitting there staring at it, and Frankenstein's like, is it
Waiting for it to
is it
grow.
okay? Yeah, I'm waiting for it to grow. It's like, what?
Oh, no, that was, comedy is definitely a big part.
comedy is great.
And I mean, like you said, you always fall for it
Yeah.
because of the way they set up the serious moments. Like you always get back drawn right into it again, and then like you fall out of it again. And you're like, come on, again.
Damn it.
He did a good job with
So
that. That's
good.
definitely crazy. You know what? I was thinking like, if this was an anime, those comedy moments would be like after the credits.
Yeah.
Yeah, they totally
They
would.
would.
I would be so
That's-
sad.
That's stupid. I don't like that.
Yeah, I feel like it's
Fun.
it
Like,
would
it's like an end credit scene. It's like a whole serious episode, then comedy at the end. It needs to be spliced through.
yeah, just let it happen, man. Let it flow. Let it flow. How did you guys feel about the whole like experiments, like failed experiment storyline?
I loved it. I'm a sucker for those kind of storylines.
Yeah.
They just wanted to get their names and survive.
So
They just
sad.
wanted to survive. And I was all the waterworks when M24 passed
Just
away.
smile. Yeah, that
Like-
smile, like in the flashback.
Like they did it very well with like
Guy.
you're learning like the way that they did their backstory, and you could understand from like what we see of them that they obviously have a strong bond, but then when they have that final conversation and put in there about how they like met each other and how they grew and like how every other one of their friends like died from the experiments and they were the only two to finally survive. It was really, really well done. Like I thought that was a really good way to do it, and I just was sobbing. Aww. I was crying, and it was so sad. I was like, I know it's coming. Like I know it's gonna come. Like obviously when Jake like freaking stabbed him in the heart.
Yeah, there's no way he's gonna live.
Right after one will die. I see him get stabbed in the heart, and I was like, ah! I beg to differ. And then it was just, I mean, so it's like one of those deaths that I like. It's not that you don't see it coming, but it still hits you and like it still grips you because it was a really interesting storyline. The fact that like there are these people who were experimented on, and obviously like those experiments were horrible, and they can't remember anything about who they were before. So all they know is like this camaraderie that they've gotten, and the fact that he was the first one, like M21 was the first one to not have to take his pills anymore, and now he like has lost like everybody else. So he's like the only one that's able to achieve out of his camaraderie. Now he has like that weight like he gets to carry, and it's just so, it was really, really tragic and traumatic.
It was built up. Yeah. It was built up.
Yeah, really well.
Yeah. It was really built up without us knowing it was being built up as well.
Yeah, because like looking back on them when we first met them, they seemed like really standard cocky bad guys, right?
Yeah,
just like let's have a little fun. Like, but it felt like they developed into real characters very believably, you know, like as things got more serious for them personally, they got more serious about what was going on, and so you got to glimpse more into who they were. And but it is weird. It is weird reading those last chapters and thinking about what they were like when we first met them, because I was like, man, we've really like delved into them as people. It's really sad to like see one of them go, you know? And now I'm like, what's gonna happen to M21? Baby.
He's gonna get a new shirt, probably.
Probably, right? Yeah.
I was like gonna say something. I can't remember what I was gonna say. Shoot. Oh, I was gonna say it added another layer of tension to the story with them because of the whole dynamic between Jake and Mary and M21 and M24. It added like another level of, are they gonna die here? Is this gonna play out for them? Like, are they gonna get found out? Like, it just added another level to the tension that I thought was really well done. And it wasn't like it felt forced. It wasn't like they were throwing it in there to kind of like extend the story along. It felt like natural. Like it felt like it was obviously a part of the story. It was really.
And another thing about their relationship, 21 and 24, is that actually felt like a true friendship.
Yeah.
You know? Like a legitimate friendship. Even when they had to call the phone, Yuna's phone, and they're like, oh, Yuna, where's your phone? Like, you know, and then they met up and everything, and they were just like, yeah, at first we were just kind of like messing around and shit, but like once you guys showed up, we were like, yeah, this is not worth it, yeah.
Yeah.
So like they had that kind of connection, and then the whole thing about, you know, how like them like kind of like calming each other down in front of Jake, like that like I don't know, that also was a build up to that fight, and
I think it's
so
really
good.
cool.
Such a good fight.
How they're giving them personalities. You know, there's like many manga and many stories that we see where it's just like, oh, we're bad because we're bad, or we're bad because we're experimented on, or all this kind of stuff. But they've got actual personalities, and we give a crap about them. You know, there was one point the story was going when it was just them, and I was actually caring more about them than our supposedly good guys. You know, and I wanted to hear more about them. And then the fight happened, and that was cool, of course.
God, the fight was so good. That was epic.
I don't even remember how they paced the thing out. I know that it wasn't like about the main characters for a little bit, but you're right. There was a point where for like a few chapters, maybe even more, that it was just about 21 and 24.
Yeah, man.
And
it was about
I just read through that.
I
went through that so fast that it was just kind of like, man, that's kind of cool. How like it's like a movie. It's like you're just watching the movie.
Exactly.
I love manhwas.
I think
I love manhwas.
even though even though Shinwoo and all of them haven't been like haven't really been as involved in what's actually going on, I've found it so hard to wrap my brain around their relationship with Rei, because typically in like this vampire's been alive for however many hundreds of years sort of stories, like that vampire is either not necessarily evil, but doesn't really care about humans, right? They're just like, they live and they die, and that's how it is, and whatever, and they kind of like stay out of it. But like Rei and Frankenstein have felt so strongly about keeping them safe from the get-go. Like, they've taken it upon themselves to be like, oh, are you threatening these kids? Because are we going to have to, like, mess you up? Yeah. And it's been one of those, like, probably the only element of the story where I'm still kind of looking for why that is. You know? Like, I'm still trying to figure out why they care so much. Like, does Rei feel like a legitimate friendship with them?
Yeah.
Like, we don't know, because we don't know Rei very well.
Maybe he's just curious.
Yeah.
He is very curious about, it's been 820 damn years, but...
It's true.
But...
I mean, if you're asleep for 820 years and these guys were nice to you, wouldn't you be nice to them back?
Yeah, I guess
No.
so. No.
Well, I know where I'm not going to be when you wake up.
Hopefully not, like, anywhere near me when I wake up, because that would scare me.
Vampire Erin would just be like, ah! Like, waking up, opening up her coffin, like, yay! Just, ah!
Daz is just right there. Ah!
Daz has been sitting there for hundreds of years, waiting for you to wake up for that moment. He's just like, I'm not leaving. He just orders food every day.
I'll wake you up and I'll be like, Erin, you late for MangaPod.
No, but I'm still sleepy.
Then it just comes full circle. Happens. Yay. Let's talk about, I mean, we've kind of been touching on it on and off, but let's dedicate our time now to the art, shall we? Let's talk about art. Yoku, let's hear your feelings about the art.
Like, I don't know what to say. It's really good. It's one of my favorite when it comes to, like, the amount of, like, there's a lot of memorable panels and, like, stuff from previous stuff we read, but when it comes to, like, the sheer amount of good panels, because all of these panels, they're like full 2-page spreads, pretty much every one that I like, and there's at least, like, out of this 70 chapters I read, there's at least like a couple hundred. There's like 200. I would like I would get all those panels, put them in a folder, and then like circulate them as my desktop background.
Yeah.
Like they're really good. Like the shading's good. Plus it's freaking colored. It's colored. Manga's colored. It's not manga. Manga's not colored. Some of these get page colored, but this is like all colored. I like the blur effect. The blur effect was used like in Tower of God. Blur effect.
The bokeh was good, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there's pretty much everything that I would say that I like about Tower of God when it comes to the way the format is and everything, plus more awesome panels and just epic panels that I was just seriously every like 15 seconds I'll be like, look at this, because it's so good.
Yeah, it was beautiful from the get-go. It was like
from the start. I remember Tower of God. It took a second for Tower of God.
Yeah. But
Normally it does for manga, yeah, or anything, yeah.
Yeah. With Noblesse, it felt so good from the get-go. I can't remember any panel where I was like, that looks a little wonky. Like, it was all just so good. Super weird.
See, I've got to agree, like, to compare I think it's only like 3 or 4 manga/manhwa that I've read, which is Tower of God, in color, Tower of God, Dragon Ball Z, and High School of the Dead. I would have to say this is probably the prettiest manhwa/manga in color that I've ever read. I would say the art is probably up to One Punch Man style of quality, because they're just so detailed and the color is there and it's vibrant, and it's not just that the panels look nice and all that stuff, but they use like the effects like the blur and motion blur and all this kind of stuff to actually legitimately make it look like it's moving. and that works really well with the style that Manhwa has because of the scrolling style. It really works to help not only just build the tension, but just help read it. I found Noblesse very easy to read. Tower of God took me about a minute or two to get used to it. And it's still like when I go back to read it all, it's just like, oh, how's this work? Is it this way? Is it that way? But with this, I knew exactly where to read, where my eyes should be, and it just, oh my gosh, it was so pretty. It was like sparkly vampire guys, and I was like, oh.
Out of context, Daza.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Daz's eyes were always on Lee.
Always on
Of
Lee.
course.
He requested
you
to
see
be
his
Lee.
hair? His hair
It's
is beautiful.
gorgeous.
Golden.
Great. The art is absolutely, like, art is probably one of my favorite things, like you guys were saying about it.
Yeah.
It's just it's so clean and gorgeous to look at, and like it shouldn't take super long to read the chapters, but you just get so engaged and lost in it that you spend way more time focusing on it, just because there's so much to take in, to look at on each panel, and like you just like there's in the way the art conveyed emotion was very done. Like, it wasn't just pretty for the sake of looking pretty. Like, it was capable of displaying when somebody was upset, when somebody was in pain. Like, there was one panel with Shinwoo when he gets punched in the face by Jake that physically hurt.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
Oh, stop it! It
Because
hurt.
you could feel it, because it was drawn so emotive. It was so great. So, yeah, the art is fantastic.
That is one of the most memorable panels for me. Because
Yeah.
it's like, even though I was rushing through it really fast,
You're
really
rushing
fast.
through
Love!
it.
YouTube.com/Yokorama Russian.
that
Moving on.
What was that? No, but the main thing is like the teeth and the blood flying out. Like like, you know, like when you were a kid and like you had to get your tooth pulled, and you start bleeding sometimes. That's what I felt like when I saw the picture. I was like, ah.
Yeah, I was like,
And
like
I looked at it. Then I looked at it again, and I'm like, ah. Like,
yeah. It's like one of those videos where they tie a string around a loose tooth and then like slam the door. No, I can't watch those. I can't do
Boo.
it.
Boo.
I can't do it.
Nah.
It's like that. Can't do it. Nope.
No, thank you.
Should we wrap up and give our final thoughts and ratings? We're coming up on an hour here.
Sure.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Let's do it. I'll go first. I'm trying to. Oh gosh, actually, I should have said I'll go first because I don't actually know what I want to rate this.
I'll go first then.
Okay. Thanks.
I mean, I don't know what to say either. I mean, what is there to say? What is there to say? We said it all. I mean, it's a really good manhwa, and it's a really pretty manhwa as well, and you'll probably like it. I don't see why
I'm
not.
getting a phone call. I'll be back.
Oh, bye.
Okay, bye.
Hey, I dog, but I don't know why you wouldn't like it. There's like seriously no reason why you wouldn't like it unless you like don't like good art. I mean, there's probably people.
Yeah,
out there.
unless you hate everything that's good about manhwa.
Like, this person wasted so much time drawing something so good. He could have made a sandwich.
God, this comedy was so on point. I hate it.
Yoke. I don't know why that was so funny. This guy wasted so much time drawing good artwork when he could have been making a sandwich.
I mean, like, I think it took him longer to draw that than it would take to make a
I
sandwich.
would guess.
Well, yes.
I mean, making a sandwich is
He
not
could have
that
made a
hard.
sandwich and drawn this. I'm pretty sure.
But I mean, like, unless you have to like drive to get the the ingredients to the store.
I still,
You gotta write a list. So.
This just fell on my foot, and I don't know where it came from.
Is it like a memory card?
No, it's like a wrapper.
Why are we talking about memory cards? What?
Oh, you missed.
I come
you missed
back
all
and
sandwich
it's just-
talk, dude.
Oh, it's from a Portuguese water bottle.
Oh.
It's cliche.
That-
You like to bring that into America?
That made it through customs with you.
Yeah. Suck it.
Suck it, TSA.
Yeah, Did I finish up? I mean,
No,
like,
you
yeah,
didn't.
freaking check it out.
What's
I mean,
your
like,
number? Give it a
Yeah, I
number,
got
Yoku.
oh, I just supposed to give numbers? Oh, I didn't know.
Yoku, this is the
How
15th.
long have we been
We've
doing
been doing
this?
this for a year and a half.
No, it's like episode 58. If I would give it a number, I mean, this is like 300 something chapters out, and we only read 78. I mean, it'd probably take me another like 2 hours to read the rest of the chapters because it goes so quick. But it's so good. But at the same time, the story is nothing special, really. But the character development is really good. And it's spread out throughout all the characters, which I really like. He doesn't just focus on like a bunch of like 4 or 5 characters. He's like focused on everybody. We get stories, and I like that. And screen time. You get screen time for like little guys. Little guys need screen time too.
Sure.
So.
Shout out to the teacher. Shout out to the teacher.
Yeah, the
Yeah, that
teacher's
teacher was
awesome.
such a nice guy.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, they started off with him seeming like the super one-dimensional,
Okay.
like mean teacher that has it out for Shinwoo. And then it turned out that he was like super
like, I
sweet,
hope
like
you
really
guys-
cares about the students. And I was just like, oh, you have depth. You have depth. I'm so happy.
When it comes to rating, I think I'll give this 9 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Stop scratching me. You have a problem? She's like trying to scratch me right now.
The cat's like, I'm not doing
He's
anything.
He like
wow.
ran behind us like,
I love kittens when they're still like kind of weird on their feet and they're just like
yeah, she's just like kind of like she's spidering
Wobbling around.
yeah.
Spider cat. Spider
Spider
cat.
cat.
Does whatever a
Spider
spider
cat.
They're talking about you. Hey, no.
What is happening in front of you?
There's
What? That was the weirdest reveal I've ever seen in my life.
there's a lot
See,
of
it's like
games.
normal people have like tissues on their desks and cups and workbooks.
Tissues and
Goku's
yeah.
just got a whole bunch of Game Boy games.
Just yeah, you're right. Anyway,
What happened?
the reason I agreed so vehemently with Yoku's number is because that's exactly what I wanted to give it. I definitely want it to have a 9. Everybody keeps saying it gets even better, which is really exciting for me to like keep reading it. But man, this one totally caught me by surprise. The art is beautiful, the writing is so good, and you wind up getting really invested, and there is such a good flow to everything, where you feel like you're progressing through the story at such a good pace, and I'm interested to see where it goes for sure. So 9.
I'm going to give it a 9 as well. I was debating between an 8 and a 9. I'm going to say a 9 because I agree 100% with everything that you say. I don't think that the story is quite there yet, but I can definitely see it building up. But like you said, the character development and how it made us feel something for every single character was really well done. And I thought that like the comedy was on point, the serious moments were on point, and all of it like flowed together really well. The pacing was fantastic. And I think that with having like it's always very impressive to me when you have like numerous characters and you're able to give each of them some kind of personality that differs from one another, and at the same time making it endearing.
There was like a dozen in this.
Exactly. There wasn't
Exactly.
There was more characters than I could count on my fingers. Maybe toes, but not fingers.
Yes.
Because apparently I have more toes than I do fingers.
And so I like Dodger said, it completely caught me off guard as well. I was not expecting to enjoy it as much as I did, and the art is absolutely gorgeous. I have to give it major points for the art because all around I think it's a very solid manhwa, and it took a very like cliched summary and made it refreshing and made it interesting with its comedy and with its character development. And I think it's, like I said in spoiler-free recommendation, I think it's a very good starter manhwa as well. I think people definitely need to check it out. And so I'm going to give it a 9 because I really enjoyed it, and I also thought critically it was pretty good. So.
Sick.
Cool. I am going to give it a 8. I'm going to give it an 8.
A night.
A night?
A night. You're going to give it a night?
I'm going to give it a
night?
night.
Are you nighting
Night
it?
out of 10.
A night out of day.
Night out of day.
Right.
That's how good
Night
it
out of
was.
day.
Yes.
Yep.
I like to stay up in it when I should really be sleeping. Like I said before, the only good comparisons I have to this is like Tower of God. And someone said in the chat that, oh, you think it looks nice just because it's color, you've got to like sort out your priorities or whatever. But that's not true. I think it's one of the best colored things that I have seen ever.
Yeah.
You know? Like I am catching up on reading my American comics and they're colored, but I think this is better than them. So I gotta say the art is fantastic. The only issue I probably have with it is that the story is a bit, well, starts out a bit like soft. I mean, yeah, I can see that we're getting deeper and deeper into it, and that's fantastic. But
You want more.
I want more now.
Yeah.
I mean, we read 78, and I'm still not sure what the organization is.
Yeah.
You know, I know people are like, oh, but it's got to be mysterious and everything like that. And I'm just like, but I want to know what the organization is now. So I think the story could definitely be a lot deeper, but that may just be more of a problem with the medium than anything else, because of its shortish chapters and the way it's being presented. But in saying that, an 8 is still a pretty damn good number.
True.
Oh, totally.
You know.
Yeah.
So I fully recommend reading it.
A
You
9
know,
is a
like-
better number.
A 9 is a better number, and it's probably my favorite number. Well, it is my favorite number, but whatever. But I think that it's still got that potential to be a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I think that it deserves the room to grow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Perfect.
there's definitely enough chapters out there.
Yeah, no joke.
Really, I don't know what you're talking about.
There's not like 300 and some.
Plus,
Yes, so we all highly
you
recommend
dying
it.
over there?
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Dodger, are you alive?
I'm
you've been
fine.
coughing a lot. Are you?
Yeah.
You want me to bring
Fine.
Triple O?
You want some
Okay.
water? Water?
Water?
I'm good. It's
I'm
fine.
glad that you guys are offering her water when she would still have to go get up and
Yeah.
get it herself.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I would love some water.
No, Dodger, I'll bring it to you on on Thursday. It's okay.
Okay.
It could be like a half drunk water bottle that he already drank.
I'll bring over Australian water and see what you think of it.
Okay, cool.
That's not
Sick.
making it through customs. That's not like the sticker. Your Australian water won't make it through.
All this.
I know. I'm so sad
Read it and weep,
because
y'all.
over.
Aqua boner!
Well, you could just kind of like place the sticker on the U.S. bottle and then pretend.
It does.
That's
You
true.
could read this as aqua boner. That's kind of
Aqua
awesome.
boner. Aqua boner.
Portugal.
We're probably offending every Portuguese person out there.
Probably.
Probably so.
No, it's
Sorry, Mia.
no. It's fine because they
That's the
beat
only
us
one
in
you
the
got.
World Cup, so whatever. Don't
What was
even
that?
care. They beat us in the World Cup. While I was there, I had to pretend I wasn't American because otherwise I was gonna get snapped in half.
Yeah.
Come on. That was funny how Portugal got like one goal within 4 minutes,
Right?
and then I'm just like, yes, beat America.
No,
offense, guys.
USA,
No offense.
USA, USA. I was so sad.
I have to go for someone because Australia loses all the time.
It's okay. I was trapped in a house filled with British people who really, really love soccer, and they were knocked out so early. They were just like angrily playing Monopoly after the game, and I was like,
Why? When you're angry, you don't play Monopoly. Does
that,
help?
that
Does it
family
help?
does.
Yeah.
They do. Because they just
How
want
does
to
that-
tear each other apart.
How does that make anything
British
better?
people,
doesn't.
what's wrong with you?
It doesn't.
Okay, we've offended Portuguese, I've offended Americans, and we've offended British people. I think
It's
we're doing
fine.
well.
We're good.
Asians
Let's
are
Russians are
awesome.
still good. So.
Let's read our spoiler-free description for what we're reading next week, and chat can give it a guess.
Oh, is that this is gonna be it's gonna be the first one from our new schedule, isn't it? From the new,
Yes.
new schedule.
Yes, it's the first one
Yeah.
from the new schedule.
new schedule.
I don't in the description because I forgot. So you suckers will have to put in more effort if you.
Don't you know we're just putting gifts anyway, or very random things?
That's what I put in next. What we're reading next week, but there's also a link to the Reddit there. There are linked to schedule for upcoming weeks, but that is null. That is a null.
See,
schedule.
I was trying to like change it like just before, change the schedule, like the sticky on the Reddit, and I just couldn't work out how to do it. I'm just like,
Oh no! I don't know what I linked to today.
actually, no, I go to the description. Okay.
Yes.
Third-year high school student Shino Yuzuru is a boy with a beautiful face and an undesirable personality. It sounds like a shoujo. He is laid back, impolite, and blunt. Very shoujo. Soon after he goes out with someone, they dump him once his true personality starts to surface. Now, it's not a shoujo because the girl would be still going out with him. His junior in the archery club, Shenru Teiji, is a well-known ladies' man. A rumor about him circulates in the school, stating that Shenru will agree to go out with the first person to ask him out on Monday, before promptly dumping that person on Sunday. Despite the school knowing this, Shenru remains popular with girls because for the 7 days he dates them, Shenru will make his partner feel absolutely special. What a wanker. Hearing the rumor, Shino becomes curious about Shiro. Oh god. One Monday morning, he greets Shiro outside of the school's entrance and jokingly asks him out. However, Shiro takes him up seriously, and so begins Shiro's 7 days with him.
Woo! Boys on boys. Boys on boys. Boys on boys.
This is actually one of my favorite manga of all time. And
Is that the one that you put on the list?
It is. Yeah, it's also one of my favorite romance stories of all time. It's fantastic. It's very good. You guys, I think, are gonna actually like it.
Guess what it is, everybody?
Yeah, everybody guess.
I don't know the name.
Well, you could look at the subreddit.
I could, but that's like I'd have to type, and I have like too much shit in front of me right now.
Yeah, you have a lot of shit in front of you. I'm not singing.
I think it's on delay though, so just give it a second. We can give you elevator music.
That's why'd you stop?
What's
I coughed.
What's the again? After I had it stuck in my head for like 2 weeks, I can't remember it at all.
What?
Which one?
What is?
The Black Bullet theme song.
Oh, from the flip side. That's awesome.
I was just watching that a few days ago. I can never skip that opening. That's so good.
It's so good.
I don't think anyone's getting
The
it.
best part about the show is that opening.
Oh, somebody got it. Muna5256 got it. It is
Yeah.
It is 7 days. It's very short. We're reading all of it. It's 13 and a half chapters. So it's a very short manga, but it's very good. So it is a yaoi hentai. No, it's not a yaoi hentai.
I was gonna say, would it be okay if I can read this on the plane on the way there? Or do I have to
Yes, it
find
is.
something
Yes,
else?
there is no sex in it whatsoever. It's a shonen
Oh,
ai,
damn.
so there's no sexual anything happening in it. So I'm very excited. It's gonna be our first shonen ai anything that we've read
Yeah, that's true.
on here. So it's gonna be
I'm
really
sad
good.
it's not
I
number
love it.
6.
I love it. Yeah, I'm sure you are.
Yeah, you're so sad, Daza.
So sad. Look at that face.
I
Look
want
at
to
that
read
face.
number
He's
6
sad.
so bad.
Yeah, so we're reading 7 days, chapters 1 through 13.5 for next week. Let's shout out our stuff and say goodbyes and stuff like that. I am Erin of HappiLeeErin. You are here on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/HappiLeeErin. I do anime reviews, anime first impressions, as well as mental health awareness stuff, and all of the previous manga pods have also been hosted here on my channel, so you can go and check them out if you're looking for those. I also recently did an anime news on Dodger's channel, which was super duper fun. It was really exciting, so you definitely check that out. If you want to find me on any social media, I'm HappiLeeErin everywhere. It's just, that's me everywhere. Hummingbird, Crunchyroll profile, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Facebook.
Yeah. I'm Dodger. I have 2 channels, youtube.com/presshearttocontinue, where I do gaming stuff. I also have 2 newer shows. I've brought Swords and Stitches back on there, and we are making a Monster Hunter table. So if you want to see the first 2 parts of that are up, there are going to be 2 more parts to it. And then I also have a new show called Welcome to the Fandom, where I just rant about different fandoms that I want to rant about. So there are 2 of those up now. And in my closet, yeah. Some people are like, why are you filming this in your closet? And I'm like, guys, this is such an obvious joke. This is such an obvious
It's
joke.
a metaphor. Come on.
Yeah, come on now. Anyway, so definitely check those out. Let me know what you think in the description, comments, whatever that's called. My other channel is youtube.com/dexteritybonus, where I talk for 10 minutes a day about my cats and drink coffee, although most of the recent videos on there are Portugal vlogs, so if that sounds interesting to you, go and check those out, and etc. On all of the social medias, I'm at DexBonus, DEXBONUS. The end.
Can I say really quick something?
Yes.
I just want everybody in the chat that you shouldn't just discount 7 days just because it's a Shonen Ai manga. There's a lot of people that are saying they're not going to read it because it's nonsense. You guys shouldn't discount it just because it's that. Just so you know.
Open up your minds,
Judges.
guys.
Judgy
Just so you
And your
know.
butts. Open up your minds
Very
and butts.
good.
Open up your
It's
butts,
only
guys.
13
Open up your butts.
That's probably the worst
It's
state of
only
Shonen
13.
Ai manga.
Yeah, too. It's like the shortest. I think it's one of like other than Densho Otoko. It's like the shortest manga that we'll be reading.
How long was Densho Otoko?
It was like 10 chapters, wasn't it?
No,
No,
Densho.
Oh, was it more than that?
No, it wasn't more. I think it was a little less. But All You Need Is Kill is going to probably be shorter, so.
Yeah. So, just saying, guys, you should definitely give it a chance. It's really adorables. So.
Okay.
Yoku? Yeah, you, Mr. Rice Krispie.
I'm like so hungry.
Yeah.
That's a good
If you
nickname.
don't shout out your stuff, I'll shout it out for you.
I mean, my stuff is in the description below, so you can like click down there. I'm also, if you don't know, I'm Yokorama. What's up? I make anime videos and stuff on YouTube, and I mean sometimes when I don't work a lot, but when I do work a lot, I don't make videos. Don't subscribe to me. You're not gonna get any videos until I make videos, but there's videos coming. Don't take me seriously. I'm probably lying. I'm also on Twitter, Yokorama Talks. That's at Twitter, at Yokorama Talks. And Hummingbird. I still watch anime, so you can follow me on Hummingbird. My bad. At just Yokorama, just type in, you'll find me there, and you can keep up at least with the stuff that I'm watching, which I've been finishing shit from the spring season. It's ending. I'm right now finishing up Black Bullet. I finished up a bunch of other stuff, cool stuff. A lot of good series ending. Sadly.
Wait, friends.
I need to catch up on One Week
I need
Friends.
to do as well.
I know I'm gonna cry and I don't want it.
But yeah, and summer season's about to start, so hopefully I can make some kind of entrance back into the community after a couple month break.
Yeah.
With this new season, that's usually how it is. I usually get into a season, and then halfway I drop out, and then I wait for another season to get into it, and I drop out halfway again.
Aw, dude, come on.
It's a lot of work.
Yoku, we can all make first impression videos of stuff like Sailor Moon and Terra in Tokyo and stuff like 3 days before everyone else can.
But the thing is, I don't really care too much about Sailor Moon. I think I'm like the only person.
Get out.
I can't.
Oh,
See,
I
this is
can't-
why
I can't end him.
we're
I
not
can't
hanging
end
out
him.
in LA. This is why we're not hanging out more. All of us gonna go to ramen except you.
Yeah, you're not
because you
going to
don't like
ramen,
Sailor
Yoku.
It's
Yeah,
not.
Yoku.
It's no
You ain't
fun.
getting
fun
no.
ramen without me,
You ain't
though.
getting no Ortron.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I read Sailor Moon for MangaPod, so you guys.
And we're
You're gonna
reading it again.
You're gonna have to read it again.
Well,
All right.
This is what happens when you don't turn up to the meetings as well.
I was there.
There, remember? He was so incredibly insistent on that one stupid manga. What was it?
Mason Ikoku.
Mason Ikoku. He was like, we gotta have it.
I'm predicting Dodger's gonna give it at least a 9.
which one?
Mason and Koku.
Mason Okoku.
Oh,
Ikoku.
never
It's
read
the
it.
one.
Please make sure to be there at that podcast.
That is captioned right next to it, all caps, because Yoku wants it so bad. Winky face.
Perfect.
Anyway,
Yes.
I am the Dr. Dazza from Fighting for Nippon. You can find me at youtube.com/Fighting for Nippon, where I do anime type videos, and I actually do videos. So unlike Yoku, you can subscribe to me, and you will see some videos pop in. Sometimes, not a lot of times, but sometimes. I also have a second channel called the Dr. Dazza, where I do other videos like gaming and blah blah stuff. I have a Twitter, which is Dr. Dazza, and I am going to be in LA for 2 weeks, so my schedule's going to be really strange.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah.
Come to us. Come to my house.
A little less in 2 weeks though.
So I could imagine that I may pop up in backgrounds of other things.
I like to think that I'm gonna be filming, because I'm gonna have to film like one thing while you're here. I like to think you're just gonna open the door and like just stand there and stare into the camera at some point while I'm filming.
See, the thing is, I still have to make videos while over there as well. So you're gonna be like popping in, being like, Dazza, and I'm just like, I'm filming.
Yes, stop getting
Not
And
anymore. You're not.
And I won't make videos like I don't make videos now. So it's all
Perfect. Guys, I really gotta pee.
I will crash
Oh, okay.
every coffee
Sorry.
time, by the way. Every coffee time.
You can't crash every coffee time, Dazza. I have locks on my doors, so
Yeah, but you have windows.
good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck.
Are you? Oh wait, Daz, are you done? You shot all our stuff. Perfect. If you want to find any more MangaPod, then you can click in the description down below, where you can be taken to our Reddit. We have a Reddit, reddit.com/r/MangaPod. Got it. You can find the schedule for all of the upcoming manga that we're going to be reading throughout the end of the year. There is also iTunes down there, so you should definitely go and check that out. Once again, we'll be here same time, same place, here on youtube.com/HappiLeeErin at 7:30 p.m. this time. We won't be as late as we were this week, hopefully. 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll be reading 7 days, chapters 1 through 13.5, aka all of it. So we really look forward to seeing you guys again. Thank you so much for watching. Mwah!
Bye!